So here's the most recent project that I'm working on. Our front yard has been a mess, partly because I have so much other stuff going on, but I kind of neglected the grass. This got like patchy right here, so throw down some new topsoil, new seeds. And then this awkward angle on our driveway led to this sprinkler head getting busted up. So it was just spraying water, so I had to replace that one. And then right here, I just threw some soil there because it was kind of deep, and my lawnmower didn't really cut it that nicely, so I just kind of filled it in, kind of backfill it. I gotta like clean these drains. They're definitely clogged up. Try to see if I can clean them. But I mean, it's no big deal. Water doesn't collect there. But over the past couple of days, I did all of this. Just, I mean, this was all gravel and stuff. And so I scraped up the gravel, tossed it in the backyard, and just added some topsoil here. And yeah, planted these things yesterday. So I just got done watering. I'm probably gonna have to remove a little bit of the soil, especially because obviously it builds up from digging out, because I got some red mulch. That's what I'm gonna use. So I gotta lay down the fabric. So I'm just gonna lay the fabric and then cut it around the plants, and then put it over the plants, and that should do. But I threw all these large paver or retaining wall blocks here. They're the, I don't know, charcoal and whatever. But I like the look of them. And so I just and then we almost never use that gate for anything, just because that shed is right there. It doesn't really make it much accessible. But so I planted some stuff here. I decommissioned the two end sprinkler controllers, disconnected the wires. Only the center one controls the front yard, both sides of the driveway. But I'm gonna cap this one. I'm gonna cut it and cap it because it's leaking. So the water comes up, over, down to the sprinkler, and then they could go out to the different zones. The one in the back is not leaking, but this one is leaking, I notice. And as you can see, I have it zip tied, just so no one comes and turns it on manually. So did that. I was torn about, I didn't want to cut it, to be honest, but the fact that it's leaking water, I'm fine with just like cutting it. In fact, the ones in the backyard are cut because the backyard has turf. So honestly, I did not know picking out flowers or plants was this challenging. So I kind of went with what I thought was okay. Definitely fell in love with these trees. Did not know they were like so pricky, but hoping to maintain the shape of them. Something to do. So I just watered them, hoping for them to catch. And then this right here was because, well, they had some sprinklers right here that I took out. So I just put the retaining wall back a little bit and then backfilled it, and then the grass will, you know, naturally form like a little edging. So yeah, just a project. So you gotta just lay down the weed barrier. Like I said, I'm gonna lay it on top of the plants and cut around it, put it over it, slide it down. That should be good. Tuck it, you know, at the roots. Maybe there's a better way to do it, but that's the way I thought about doing it. Just because I don't want to have dirt and stuff on top of the weed barrier. And then obviously my retaining wall, I was trying to make it symmetrical, but I have this sewer line right there. So yeah, probably gonna break out the spray and spray down the dirt off the stucco. I recently learned that you can't really power wash stucco, because I need to paint this house and it needs to be power washed, because as far as I see it, this thing, the fact that it's so porous, it just traps dirt. So and I can just see from walking on these blocks that I've kind of like try not to walk on them. They're not firm yet, but trying to make sure they're all the same height going across. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. I think my neighbors are happy. I keep getting like people waving because I just increased their value of their property. I don't know, a couple. But as I was digging, so this is one of the sprinkler ones that was decommissioned, and that's just a pipe that I guess it just ran under the sidewalk here. But I saw that, and I mean I dug through it. I knew it was there. I mean I took out the head of it, so I knew it was there. But then as I was digging, I did this right here. I had no idea this was, so I actually saw it because I started to dig it down there, and I saw the downspout, and I was careful. But then I didn't realize this thing came up right here. So I think I grabbed, I mean, I just grabbed a random one, but I think this might slightly be too big. But I got this stupid, awkward angle here going on. So I might have to cut it back here, and then do this whole thing over these little angles, or just cut it right here. I just needed enough to put it on, but then I might have to put a what do you call it? I bought an extra piece, whatever this is called, over it. So this might be too big. Supposed to be 3. It looks like 3-inch, but this pipe might be a little bit smaller. So I might just have to take this sample to Home Depot. I mean, at least this end is good enough for me to take it and make sure I get the proper one. But yeah, always something when you're doing a project. You know, they say know before you dig, but to be honest, I encountered, so after I busted this pipe, I was using a digger, and I was like, can't afford that, because I know there's like sprinkler lines and stuff, and even like lines for like this one. This plant is actually sitting like right beside this downspout, but it's not that critical, right? I didn't bust through it. But you know, there's sewer lines, so I definitely didn't want to bust any of those, or punch through them. And then there's the main water feed for the house, which I saw. So I came in contact with like 4 different pipes, but after busting that one around there, I was pretty hands-on as far as just being meticulous about digging and not like jabbing with the digger. The soil back here was particularly tough. It's clay soil, but it has all those rocks. So those are the rocks that I had to dig out. So I dug out most of those rocks. I could actually push some behind that door. But the soil right here was really tough. And then back here, luckily it was like, you know, it was really soft, and I mean, I could just use the shovel to dig down. It would like pick up a huge scoop, and that would be the whole size that I would need. But yeah, so far so good. Just gotta fix this one little booger. This one little booger. And then the plan is to pressure wash the driveway. As you can see, it's pretty grimy. Actually, it looks way more grimy on camera. So that is the plan. I'm gonna take this off the sidewalk so the heat doesn't transfer that hard into it. At least put it in there. But anyway, as me always say, like and I hate a thing.